meeting in the chamber shortly. So item 13 is a receiving report. This is an internal report. It's not a decision-making one. So Helen, would you like to introduce the water supply implementation plan report, please?
So this is one of the implementation plans under the integrated water strategy, and it also serves as the water supply strategy that is required for our comprehensive water take consent with Environment Canterbury. So this document has already been over to Environment Canterbury a couple of times, and they've accepted as meeting the requirements of the conditions of that consent. It outlines how we will protect the water resources, particularly those that we use for community drinking water supply, and sustainably manage those resources. It also outlines Council's statutory responsibilities with respect to drinking water and embraces those 6 principles for safe drinking water that are also in our water safety plans. So the implementation plan generally guides project planning, and it works closely with the asset management plan for the drinking water supply, and with our water safety plans and the improvement actions in those. I should also note that we have had feedback too from MKT on this plan, and we've added some additional. We've reinforced some of the actions around the sanitary survey and looking at planning for water supply in areas where there could be, marae development.
Right, that's good. Okay. Questions? Jimmy, then Yanni?
Regarding to 3.6, Helen, you particularly mentioned we provided to the MKT to review, but not yet receive feedback. My question is, will that feedback have some view whether we might have a minor amendment regarding to this implementation?
We have, since this report was signed off, we have received feedback and we have updated it. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yanni?
I just wanted to check if I'm getting an answer to the question that I put in.
No.
Sorry?
No, okay.
Which question?
So I asked again ahead of the meeting if we've got a really good the implementation plan for our arts strategy, which is really good. You can see clearly who's doing what the objective is, what the goal is, the timing, the lead. You don't have any costs attached, but that would actually be an important consideration. So I was just trying to get actually like a document, like a 1-page, easy to understand document on what the implementation plan does in terms of timing, cost, action, back to the objectives. And I couldn't find in this report anywhere that could show where it was actually happening. So that was the request that I'd asked for, because it's quite hard to receive something when you don't actually see what the outcome is in terms of a governance level, what we're going to be doing.
So in Appendix A, we've got the options and the links across to the integrated water strategy. But I agree this one is quite complex, because we've, rather than producing 2 documents, we've integrated the implementation of the integrated water strategy with the requirements for our water supply consent.
So is this what you're talking about?
Yes.
So there's nothing about timing, lead, and cost. I mean, shouldn't an implementation plan actually clearly articulate the resource required to achieve the outcome that you're going to achieve within the time frame, back to the goal, the strategy that you're adopting?
I'll just find, where's the second attachment?
The second attachment to it is
No.
it's the Excel spreadsheet.
Such a long
that
report.
has all the list of projects.
And should it have
associated with
resource attached to it, was Yanni's question?
I can't see a second attachment.
It's the
Okay, so
Attachment
water supply,
B.
wait a minute, page 273.
I sent through the arts one because I thought that was actually a really good template for being able to explain to the community who made submissions, here's what we're doing, right? And that's why I think we need something like that for this, so that we can clearly understand and articulate what the implications are.
So I'm just going through the paper version of the agenda papers, and David, we've got the same attachment twice instead of the second attachment, which is the spreadsheet.
Right. Because I read through it quite a lot.
Yeah, I beg your pardon. So there is a trim link in it, so we'll have to send you that separately because you guys can't access the trim link.
Yeah. Right, that'd be good. So, is there anything stopping you from receiving this paper today, Yanni, and perhaps you can put questions through?
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole point of the integrated water strategy when we did the hearing and the resolutions was the community made submissions to say to us, can you please take us on the journey? Can you explain to us what you're doing? Why? Keep us involved with understanding the preciousness and the value of water in our community and in our city. So, I think getting that information would be really good. I think obviously if there's anything in there that we wish to go and look at, then obviously we can work that through a process. But I think just in terms of transparency, having something that's easy to read, simple English, people can look at it and say, right, that's what they're going to do.
All right, I'll take that away.
The only other question I had was the whole issue around rainwater and grey water reuse, which came up. Can you give us any sense of what work is happening in that space? That's the only very specific question I've got.
So if you're talking about rainwater tanks and grey water reuse in Christchurch City and the potential to incorporate that in the district plan, is that the question?
I think it was just in the strategy, it was quite high level, but it was looking at the opportunities to be more sustainable with the water that comes from the sky or that gets used through and could be reused.
Not just water use, but it actually can ease the pain on the stormwater system in a deluge. But what have you got?
So the only place where we're pursuing any of that, and it was pursued in the district plan, is in the hill suburbs where rainwater tanks can help us with stormwater, and also over in Banks Peninsula where they can help us with security of supply. There's very little being done in terms of grey water or any reuse of water.
So can I ask that maybe we get, maybe we'll get a briefing at some stage to look at maybe we can.
Yeah, I think we will.
We may need to talk to the policy team to see if they're doing any work in that area. Certainly, within Three Waters, we are not actively working in that space.
Through the Akara, a note. We might be picking that up through the Akara wastewater hearings as well. Recommendation that it's a legislative thing from central government about the reuse of non-potable water as well. So. What do you want to put a note in? What do you want it to say, Yanni?
We ask for advice back from staff over what we're currently doing in that regard around the integrated water strategy.
Around grey water and
rainwater tanks. And we have an opportunity to consider other opportunities.
Opportunities.
Well, just if you give me a second, I'll find the point in the water strategy that it'll take.
Around potential opportunities around grey water and rainwater tanks. All right. No other.
One quick one, and obviously the integrated water strategy was written at a time prior to government sort of announcing a more directive approach to the Three Waters review. So I just want us to be really clear that our role is not really now to oppose, but to make sure that our communities are fully engaged and that are capable of influencing matters related to water, whatever decisions are ultimately made.
Yes, and this council is, as you know, working with the Mayoral Forum, the Canterbury Mayoral Forum, in looking at what the options are for water services delivery that ensure that the community voice is heard.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, I'm happy to move this report. Do I have a seconder? Melanie? If there's no further discussion, I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Opposed? That's carried. Item 14. This is your report too, Helen.